Hello and welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends spin a wheel once a week. It chooses the horror film and they discuss it. Today we're talking about Friday the 13th, Part 4, The Final Chapter, which was directed by Joseph Zito. I'm your co-host, Alec.
I'm Eric.
We were supposed to have Joe Testa on today as a guest, but unfortunately something came up last minute, so we're moving forward, and Joe will be on again soon. He's always on, so...
I know this is one that he'd like to be on, though, so it must be a bummer for him not to be on.
I know. I do feel bad about that because he wasn't on for part 5 either. That was Matt Banover, but he was on part 3. He's done a few of these with us, so
Maybe he doesn't like Tommy Jarvis deep down. Maybe he's like, I hate that Tommy Jarvis, trilogy.
dude, the whole time I was watching it, I was like, I bet this is what Joe was like when he was a kid. That's what I was thinking. I was like, dude, like with all like the masks and all that shit in his room, like all the horror stuff.
Yeah, and we can get into we can get into everything about this movie. It was a doozy, but it was fun, right?
This is a good one.
This is a good one.
This is one of the best ones for sure. Like here's the thing. This is actually a movie where, you always say to me, like, do you need to watch the other ones to watch this one? I think you definitely should, but this one starts off with such a good recap that, like...
Boom, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like, if you have somebody that, like, has any peripheral interest in Friday the 13th, and they're just like, I'd always want to watch them, you throw this one on, they're going to be caught up pretty quick.
Yeah, and I mean, not that the first one's like slow or boring, but like this one's like the campy one that like if you like watch it with anyone who's never seen one, it's like, yeah, you get it now. So
yeah. I mean, I guess the idea was they were only gonna do 3, and then the third one did so well that they're like, all right, we'll do one more, but like that's it, really.
Yeah, I'll get into the stats real quick if you want to hear it. This one did really, really well too, dude. It's like you could tell, and I've heard and I've read that they wanted these to be done. They just wanted them to be done, but they kept making so much money. This one came out April 13th, 1984. It's an hour and 31 minutes. Perfect for this type of movie. Its budget was 2.2 million and its box office was 33 million. It's like, why are we making so much money? The Rotten Tomatoes critic score is a 21 and the audience score is a 51, more than double the critic score, which means people love this movie and they'll keep coming to that damn theater.
Yeah, I did hear at the very end, like, they told the director straight up, they're like, this is it. This is the last one. So, like, go out with a bang, have fun, because we're done. And then right at the end, right as it was coming out, they're like, hey, that last scene because what they were going to do is they were going to split Jason's head in half, like, going down. Like, they were going to have his head, like, peel open like a V, basically. And then right at the last minute, they're like, you know what? Don't, like, kill him. And it was just like, okay, it's like, leave it a little open because I have a feeling we're going to be doing another one of these.
Well, spoiler with the ending, and we can walk through this. It kind of ends like, is Tommy going to take on the new Jason? He gave that look, I'm like, that's what I interpreted.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, they definitely allude to it could be him, which is kind of funny because Halloween did that too. They, like, with Daniel Harris at the end of part 4, remember?
I was gonna get into that too. This movie reminds me of Halloween 2 a lot. The second one, the original Halloween 2.
Really? The hospital one?
Yeah, I mean, there's a hospital scene in the beginning with the doctors and the nurses all like, "Ooh, let's go."
Oh yeah.
So there's little hits of everything, and that's what makes this one. And the pace is really good. Oh my God, the kills are like top notch with the practical effects, and we have our boy Tom Savini to thank, which I miss Joe. I want to hear facts from Joe about that. So.
Yeah.
Got to talk to him soon. But yeah, I mean, yeah, they brought the band back together. I think the director was he the original director's son or relate? I don't know
No. No, he's nothing. He's just like a guy. Like,
okay.
He just directed other stuff. Apparently he was kind of difficult as a director. A lot of people complained about him.
Did read one trivia tidbit that I think it's Tim West is who plays Jason. Almost quit the set because one of the girls who gets killed in the raft or the boat or whatever was getting hypothermia, and he's like,
yeah,
we don't stop filming, like, I'm gonna quit. So
yeah, I can tell you about that. So The scene, yeah, where the girl swims out naked to the raft or whatever, she's in there, and then Jason comes up and stabs her to death. And apparently, it took like days to film. And the way that they shot it was she was standing up straight, and basically the backside of her was a fake body. So she's underwater, standing up, and she's got like her, her chest and her shoulders and head and everything above the raft. But then it's a fake body for the rest of it, so it looks like she's laying down getting stabbed. They did it for so long that yeah, she's like, I'm freezing. I need to get out of here. And the
I
act,
heard they filmed it in December, and but she was in a wetsuit at least, but it's still December. So keep going.
well, it's California, but still, it's like probably in the 60s, so it's probably cold. And it's also hours of that. So it's not just like, yeah, we're in for like 20 minutes. It was like hours and hours and hours. So the actor that played Jason was like, if you don't let her out right now, I'm walking and I'm not doing this movie anymore. So the director was like, fuck, all right. And they took her out, and then, yeah, she had hypothermia. And it was like, geez, like, all right, just to get that one goddamn shot. Like, okay.
Yeah, I did read the director was made it very kind of toxic on set.
Yeah. So, yeah, these movies do have a history of that, like with some good directors, bad directors, but it's good that the cast kind of all stuck together. And but apparently everybody knew, they all thought this was going to be the last one. They're like, this series is really popular, so let's all give it our all. And I thought it came through to a degree.
Yeah, yeah, and I want to say this too. It's Ted White. I've been saying Tim West because I'm so tired. Ted White, is still alive. Oh
Yeah,
no, no, he passed away. I'm sorry. He
he
passed away
did.
96 in 2000 2 years ago, 22. I'm
No.
sorry. I always thought he was alive. I'm so sorry.
He was like, yeah, in his late
Uh,
90s.
but dude, this guy, like I was reading up about him too, and I'm sorry. I really wanted to put some respect on his name, Ted White, not Tim West. That's not okay of me to do. Uh, what a life. And he was a stunt man to live to 96. That's like Brad Pitt and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood status, dude. Like he must have been fucking cool.
Yeah, no, I mean that is pretty insane that he lived that long doing that kind of job. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's one of the better Jasons, I think.
He's I think he's the best.
Whoa.
I mean, Kane Hodder is the best of the new Jason. I think Ted White. He had something about the way he moved was great in this movie. I was like, that is quintessential Jason right there.
Yeah, no, he did a good job. I mean, everybody was good. I mean, it's weird because like the movie's kind of split up between the group of kids and then the Jarvis family, the mom, the sister, and young Tommy and the dog. But the thing is, like, I don't know if we needed both. Like, do we need the kids just like at the can or at the house just trying to get laid, and then also this entire other subplot? I mean, it's a short movie.
It's the first time a kid's been in it, like a kid, right?
Yeah, they've never had campers at the camp. Yeah.
No, but like a little kid, like Tommy.
Yes. Yeah.
There's no like 8-year-old, or how old is he supposed to be in this? 10?
He's like 13 in real life, but I don't know how old he's supposed to be in the movie. Yeah.
Oh. Well, why don't we walk through the plot real quick? Because I mean, we always bounce around, and we're going to continue to do that unless we just keep it structured. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah. So it starts off with just a recap of the first three movies. So it's just like, it's like, yep, this is what's going on. There's a killer in this town, and it really does pick up right where the last one left off, which is pretty cool. It's like the barn where we think Jason was hung to death.
Question. With the recap, so I'm like, wait, is today like Friday the 16th or something? Like, is it like day by day, or is it?
Yeah,
Can you
so part two, three, and four all take place in the same weekend. So this is actually Sunday the 15th. Yeah.
two happen, and then the next day was the 13th? Okay, yeah, yep, no, I got it.
So yeah. Part two is the 13th, part two was the 13th, part three was the 14th, and today's the 15th for part four.
And it's two. How far between one and two? A year exactly?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think someone said
Uh,
2 months or something.
yeah, I genuinely don't remember, but yeah, so there's a little bit of time. But yeah. So we get a great recap that shows everything that's going on. We have a killer. He's then taken to the morgue. There's a whole little situation there with the like the scummy fucking mortician or whatever.
Well, yeah. First of all, he's eating food around the dead body, which like always like, why does every mortician have to like just eat an apple with dead people around it? Like to me, that's so disrespectful. But
Gross.
Yeah, it's also disgusting. And then you want to talk about what he like. I don't even like an aerobics video, Richard Simmons kind of thing.
Oh, that's like the least of it. He was like, yeah, the dead body they brought in, she's pretty cute. And they're like, she was cute.
She was, and he's like, still is.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's watching like porn, basically like aerobics porn in his room. He's very aggressive with the nurse that he's trying to, have sex with. And yeah, for some reason the nurse is like, okay, I guess. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, so the mortician, everybody's having sex at the morgue, or they're trying to, and then Jason kills everybody, and he escapes. And yeah, then we meet the Crispin Glover and a bunch of random teens.
Crisp, so this is a year before the Back to the Future.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
not really on the map yet at all, right? He's brand new.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. He's been in a couple movies, but no, nothing. Back to the Future was definitely the big thing.
And you have this director who's a hard ass, and you have Crispin Glover who's just
Crazy.
I mean, I would the first thing I would describe Crispin Glover is just unique. I would say that. I'd be nice. I'd say he's very unique.
Yeah.
After that, I'd say what? Weird and kind of an asshole. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if he's an asshole. I mean, I don't know, but he's just weird.
Yeah, yeah, weird. He's just like, I don't know.
But they're in the car and they're talking to each other about like I don't know what they meant by this, but it's a running gag throughout the entire movie where he's just like, "You're a dead fuck." What does that mean?
What was like that constantly? It's like dead fuck, bro, like kind of thing. What is that?
Is he saying like, "I got no dick, my dick is broken, like I got a small dick"? Like what was it? What was it supposed to be?
Like what's like how do you compare it to like what people say today? Like, I don't know.
Limp dick?
Limp dick, like you dead fuck, bro.
He's like 21 though. Like he's not gonna have erectile dysfunction at 21. So I like don't know. I really didn't get that. The entire bit is just back and forth between Crispin Glover and this guy saying you're a dead fuck. But I like didn't get it. Yeah, it was really weird. And it's just constantly happening throughout the whole movie.
That might have been like an inside joke with the director or writer, for all we
I
know.
don't
It
know.
just didn't fit in any way. It made no sense. But anyway,
So this part, they're in the car and they're just, yeah, talking about dead fuck and all this stuff. But this was like the weirdest scene in the movie. They're driving past this hippie and she's holding a sign that says Canada and love. And then they drive past her and they're like, you're fat or whatever. And then she just turns the sign around and says, fuck you. She sits down and eats a banana. And then Jason just comes out and kills her.
broad daylight.
That was like the weirdest scene.
It was like he's back at the lake or like back in the woods at least.
I mean,
So what did she do besides
what did you do?
hate the same teenagers that you do? I
Yeah.
mean, all right, so what does Jason do? He kills people that have premarital sex. He kills people that do drugs. And I mean, I'm just gonna say this, a banana is shaped like
So what? So what?
maybe Jason's a little groggy. He doesn't know, he's not thinking right. And
Oh my
I don't
God.
know. That's the only explanation. Like, what's that in your mouth? It's like, oh, it was a banana. Okay, all right, my bad. I don't know. My take.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm like, why did she get killed?
She could have been eating an apple, but nope.
I doubt that's why. But I want to see like what led up to her getting out there. I'm like, what the fuck? Who is this girl? Why is she there? And then the death was pretty good though. They stabbed it through the back of her neck.
Oh, bro, the kill scenes in this, amazing. I don't even know. I gotta think of my favorite one.
I know my favorite. Yeah, we'll get to it. And then there's another weird tie-in, which we'll get to a little bit later from part two, which you probably don't know about, but I'll tell you later. It's also in the remake, so
Okay.
we'll get to it. Yeah, so the next scene, they're all driving. They get to the house, and Tommy Jarvis and his mom and sister, they're all there. One weird line, though, I just need to mention is Tommy Jarvis's mom and sister are like on a run or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, I was talking to dad on the phone, and apparently the dad and the mom are going through a divorce or something. It's like he misses you, and it's like really, and they're running or whatever. It's like I just think you're horny. The mom says that to the daughter. The daughter says that to the mom, right?
Oh no, I don't remember.
It was just a line. I knew it was the mom and the daughter, and they're like, maybe you should talk to dad. It's like, I just think you're horny. It was just like, it didn't seem like a conversation a mom and dad, or mom and sis, Jesus, a mom and a daughter would have. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say so. I might have deleted that from my memory bank. I don't remember.
Anyways, that line was just odd to me. But yeah, so
Yeah.
then we meet Tommy, and he's a really cool kid. He's young. He's got a million.
Masks, and he's obviously like really good at making stuff, and yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. He's likes video games. He's a mask creator, and yeah,
Look like a little John Connor kind of kid, you know? Like I don't know how to describe it.
yeah. I think he's nicer than John Connor. I don't think he's as much of a little brat.
You know what I mean? Like he's like, oh, but like, how does that kid make the mask? I was like, what the? Like impressive.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking, his name's Tommy, and Tom Savini's doing the stuff. So like, oh, it's like a nod to Tom Savini. I don't know.
Oh yeah. No, it definitely is. Yeah. And it's kind of sad and funny a little bit. Not what happened with Corey Feldman or whatever, but like apparently on set, all of the stuff that like he was being shown in the movie that you're like, oh, they probably just like films his reaction. Apparently he really was seeing that stuff.
Like you mean the boobs or?
Yeah, like the nude scene on the beach where he like walks down there, like apparently they
Oh,
just
really?
yeah, that was real.
That would never happen today.
No, 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 no. And the blonde woman who played his sister, she was a child actress and she was like watching out for him and stuff. And she was like, yeah, just be careful. Cause he's like, he wanted to hang out with everybody and he was 13 and these guys are all like 21, but he was like, no, I want to hang out with all of you guys. And they're drinking, they're hanging out. And
His mom was a real POS too, from what I've read too. And I mean, I'm not defending Corey, but he was a child actor, and you can only point their finger at like Hollywood and why he's had his issues and whatnot.
yeah, I think you just grow up so fast in an industry and it just messes you up. I mean, yeah, but I did like that scene though where he's in the bed and he sees the kids like next door. That scene's amazing, dude.
Yeah,
And if you're that age, dude, if you're that age and you see something like that, you are freaking
yeah,
out.
yeah. That was funny. The like whole lake scene was funny with everyone like skinny dipping and stuff. And then I did read too that when they filmed like the Ted White like jumping through the window or door or whatever to grab him, like they didn't give Corey the heads up. They just did it. It like
Oh
did
yeah.
and like scared the shit out of him, I'm sure, traumatized them, and yeah, but
Well, apparently Corey Feldman's agents were like, "We don't want you to do this." His parents were like, "We don't want you to do this," and he just wouldn't stop. He was begging, 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 and he finally was able to do it.
yeah, last night I kind of did a deep dive on Corey Feldman and this movie, and they wanted to shave his head at the end,
Yeah,
that scene. And his agents were like, No, this is like pilot season's coming out. He's not fucking shaving his head." And
yeah,
it's like, but yeah, Corey's mom was a real like always like sleeping around with people on set, getting drunk, getting drugs. The first time Corey did cocaine, I think it was on Steve's podcast. He talks about this or sometime when he he was like 15 on Lost Boys was the first time he did it, and his mom's friend gave it to him to just keep him awake at night because they'd shoot Lost Boys from like 3 p.m. to like 3 a.m. And he one day, I think one day he took it and then stayed up a full like 40 hours and was a mess, got fired, but then they realized he's underage and they could get in trouble or something like that. And he needs an adult on set, and he's like, good luck finding my mom. Like she's probably at the bar or something. And
yeah,
yeah, he's been through some shit, and I do like I mean I like him. I mean I know
yeah. He's
he's
fine.
had don't look up Corey's Angels and all this other stuff he's done, but yeah, I mean, it's the tale as old as time of a child actor. That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on from him, but really quick, doesn't he look like a young Harrison Ford a little bit? I feel like he could have played a kid Harrison Ford.
Yeah, he kind of did. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. Yeah, he did.
But all right. So, anyways, back to this movie. Back to this movie. So they're having a party next door. All the kids are getting drunk, having fun, and Tommy Jarvis's older sister is kind of just like, "Ooh, like I'll go hang out with them." I think she realizes they're like a little younger than her. But then this random dude shows up, and he's like, "My sister's missing" or whatever. And dude, isn't that's exactly the remake just took it straight from this. Remember the guy from Supernatural was just like, "Where's my sister?" Remember that?
Shit, sorry. Yeah, yeah. I remember the guy from Gilmore Girls, and he's like handing out like posters, like, "Hey, have you seen my sister?" Like kind of thing.
Yeah, it's literally from this movie.
I didn't know that until this. Yeah, I got this.
Yeah.
I like the new one a lot. They pulled a lot of things from all the movies, every movie, including the Jason X. But we'll save that for another time.
But the thing that I think is interesting is in part two, there's a girl that gets killed, and her name is Sandra or whatever. That's supposed to be this girl, like his sister. And it's kind of, you have to like really do a deep dive to like figure it out. But he mentions Sandra. You can go to IMDb and see the woman that plays Sandra. She was actually 17, and they filmed a sex scene in that movie, and they got in a lot of trouble. But anyway, so she's the sister. And it's kind of crazy because it doesn't really make sense because that means that on Friday she was murdered and then on Sunday he's like, riding around like, where is she? She must be missing and like all this stuff. So it doesn't really make sense.
So she's been missing for like 48 hours, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And he's like, she's definitely dead. She's missing, This is before the internet and cell phones. So it's like, well, maybe she's just like hasn't called you. But he's like, no, she's dead.
Did he say give a time frame at all? Did he say like she's been missing for like blah blah
No.
blah?
He doesn't
Hmm.
say, but he's got like, the news clippings about Jason and, so he's got all that information about him.
News clippings came out already. Okay. All
Well, no, no,
right.
no, 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 no. Because remember the picture of Jason when he's like a deformed boy? Remember that?
Yeah, yeah. But he
Yeah, so
thinks
those
it's
ones.
Jason, is what he
Yeah,
thinks.
because there have been killings in the woods because of the first movie.
And Annie, not Annie. What's the main character who's in the second one?
In the second one.
At the start of the second one, and with the fridge and the head in the fridge.
Oh yeah, just the main, yeah, from like the redhead from the first one who gets killed.
Yeah.
That's not her. That's not the sister. It's
No,
it's
I
a
know,
different.
I know, I know. It's someone from the second movie. You're saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's they're like trying to tie things together, which I can appreciate. It doesn't make sense necessarily,
So you're
but
saying you're saying like kind of plot holes in this one,
I
right?
mean, it's not a plot hole. It's just like you have to really stretch your imagination. Basically, what we have to say is the sister she got killed on Friday, and by Sunday, the brother's like she is missing, and he's already looking for her, and so it's just like you have to just be like, okay, I guess his brother's like, okay, if she doesn't call me by Saturday, she's fucking dead, you know? So I don't know. So that's basically
That's
it.
that's so funny how you just said that.
I mean, that's what happens though. So
I mean, yeah.
So that character's weird too. I thought like, I don't know, man. I forgot how he got killed and I was like, that's fucking sucks. We'll get to that. That's at the end.
But he had like Ted Bundy vibes, right? Like he
He
seemed
was
like a serial
weird.
killer.
Dude, he was weird. He's like, so where are you going? He's like asking all these weird questions in the car and then they just immediately go back to her house and it's like, oh, you want to go like upstairs to my 8-year-old brother's room or whatever and play with him by yourself? And he's like, okay. And he's like, who is this guy? You don't know him.
Not today. Wouldn't happen today.
Yeah. So I mean, we can pretty much just sum this whole thing up in like a sentence, but the entire time that all these teens are together is just them trying to fuck, kind of cheating on each other.
It was like sex on steroids in this one. I've never seen
Yeah.
it this aggressive.
It's just like, I want to fuck. It's like, yeah, me too. And then more girls come up. It's like, I call that one. It was just, that's the entirety of their plot.
Like there's like a 40-ish minutes of that, pretty much, like 30.
Yeah. Smoking weed, drinking beer, trying to get laid. A couple people do get laid.
Crispin Glover dancing like a peacock, really. He looked like the guy in Frozen. I never saw Frozen, but there's a guy who dances in Frozen, and it's exactly that.
So weird. I don't know what that was, but yeah. So yeah, so I mean that's kind of like it with the teens for the most part. I mean, they get killed, but they don't not really much happens with them. Like a couple of them are already dating. These twins get introduced, these like British twins, and yeah. The thing that really stands out to me is when they all kind of go away to have sex with each other or whatever, and the one stoner guy or the one guy's by himself, he just puts on like 30s or like 20s or 30s porno reels that he finds.
What was that?
I'm assuming that's like porn from the 20s, but he's laughing at it like it's
That guy looked high as
he.
he looked red-eyed high.
But dude, I mean, yeah, I guess maybe when you're that young and like first time you're smoking weed, maybe that is the funniest thing you've ever seen in your life. But that guy's laughing his ass off at nothing.
I think that actor was actually high.
No, I do too, for sure. His eyes were super red.
You would have to be like, all right, sit in this pool and like it's really chlorinated and just like open your eyes for like 2 minutes
No,
underwater. It's like,
no, no,
like it's the only other way.
no. It's just he was just high because I mean they're probably like fuck it, who cares? So yeah, so that's kind of it. And then Jason breaks in and starts killing everybody. And I mean the Crispin Glover death was good. You know the he got a corkscrew to the hand and then
Yeah.
a machete right to the face.
Well, what's great about it, it's all practical effects, and you can see how they shoot most of it. It's like a lot of these attacks just in reverse, but it's just like, dude, it's so well done. It's so well done. I mean, the hospital kills aren't that great, like with the hacksaw and the other nurse.
Well,
It
dude,
was
that guy's
okay. It was
head,
okay.
he rips that guy's head in half, or he
I know
turns it
it
completely.
was it
That
was
was pretty
pretty good.
good. That was good.
It was pretty good. I'm just saying, but like those are like the weaker of. There's a couple other weaker kills we could talk about, but like Christmas was great. Keep going. Who else we talking? Look at the shower.
Yes, that's my favorite.
My
Yeah,
favorite. That's the one. Yeah, with his
yeah,
head, just like he just like fucking just and then just like pushes, and I was like, whoa.
yeah. That's the best one for sure.
Oh, that must have sucked.
Another one that's cool, which you don't see, kind of, is one of the twins when she's like, "Hey Tina, like, are you coming out?" She's like, "Why don't you go fuck yourself?" And she's like, "Hey man," and she just leaves or whatever. And Jason stabs her, but it's the shadow or whatever because of the
Yeah.
lightning bolt. That was pretty cool. And then the body gets smashed against the building. I was like, all right, dude, this is pretty good.
Even the high guy with like the way like he gets hit and like the projection screen like slowly rips in half. That was all right.
Yeah,
That was
that
pretty
was
good.
cool.
Very creative
Wait,
kills.
so that means that Jason turned the camera off or whatever, or like stopped the film reel, and then like ran around the thing without that high guy noticing. Like,
Oh, I
I don't
mean,
know.
it's that is that. I mean, obviously they got to move the movie along, but it was teleportation at that speed. It was insanely fast.
Well, I was just like thinking, like maybe the reel did just happen at that time, and Jason was like, "Oh yeah, fuck."
Didn't he kill the other mom too? He went outside and then.
That's the kill I was gonna say. That's the worst kill in the movie. That kill. It's off screen.
I mean, but it's a nod to the original with the not the camp counselor, but the camp like director. Remember? It's the exact same kill
Like half the kills in the first movie are just that. Like they just
off
disappear.
screen. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But I hated that. I was like, no. Then Jason and the lead blonde girl, the final girl, Tommy Jarvis, and the hitchhiking, guy or whatever, they're the final survivors. All the teens are dead, the mom's dead. And we just kind of get like a chase scene for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's when I kind of was like, okay, let's get to it, But not that I was bored. I was just like, all right, I get it.
No, but I thought the one scene that was just like the line that was kind of funny is like the sister, she leaves and she's like, Tommy, get out of here. She comes back, she's like, Tommy, he's like, yeah. It's like, you were supposed to leave. Like, what the fuck? Like she's, because she distracted Jason for a while, but Tommy was shaving his head. So she was just like, why are you still here? Like, God damn it. It was all for nothing.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh my God. Before we move on, dude, the kill that I mean looks the most painful is the dude who gets the harpoon gun through his dick.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Dude, he gets a harpoon gun stabbed in his dick, lifted up, and then pulls the trigger, and it's just like, oh my God. Like,
That, but I thought the shower was probably the most pain. I mean, not painful, but oof.
it was the best one. Yeah, that was better. Yeah. But just, harpoon to the dick is pretty bad.
Not in the dick, dude. Not in the dick, bruh. Like remember
Yeah.
Cartman in that episode. But it's
Yeah.
not in the dick, but it's not to aim. I love that episode. Sorry.
But yeah, so then the final kind of like, yeah, 10 minutes is, yeah, that runaround we were just talking about. Tommy is shaving his head because he's like, oh, I can shave my head to look like Jason and go downstairs and maybe I can trick him or whatever. But before that happens, the hitchhiker guy, the guy that's like, I don't know what he's doing. He's looking for a sister, but, whatever. I guess he gave up. Dude, um, he gets killed in the basement or whatever. That was like a weird like kind of like scary death or whatever when he's like, he's killing me, and he's just like stabbing him. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah, that was weird too.
It was kind of like it was drawn out, but I was like, after a while, I was uncomfortable because I'm like, ooh,
He's
like,
kind of like wait.
yeah, he just keeps screaming, he's killing me, like, and he is. So then, yeah, for some reason, then the blonde hair girl runs upstairs, and then she's like, you know what? I'm gonna go try and save him now. And then she goes down, and then Jason's like, okay, cool, like you're here too. Grabs her, the stairs break, and then yeah, Tommy comes out and
I mean, that's the best scene. The die, die. Well, he does the thing first.
well, he's like, Jason, it's me or whatever. Jason's like, oh, really? Okay.
So what is he?
Goes
So he's pretending he's him, like different
I
him.
I don't know. I don't know what the logic is there.
So this is what happens when there's too many cooks in the kitchen. This is what this movie is because this movie probably had a good ending. It had yeah, it was more coherent, but like that is someone throwing an idea out there that doesn't need to be there. And it's like you said, like, oh, we don't kill him, kill him. Like it's not like that's the whole fucking point of the movie.
Well, let me say this though. Tommy, I agree, like it is kind of stupid, but it is something that like would distract Jason more than just Tommy being like, "Hey, Jason!" Like, like him doing that makes Jason think like, "What is the goal? What the hell is this guy doing?" Sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it I don't love it, but I kind of get it.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Because what would it be? Like Tommy just runs down like just not bald and it's just like, Jason, you suck or whatever. And he's like, hey, no, I don't.
I read what it was going to be. They wanted to have Tommy create some kind of device that gets a microwave on Jason's head and have Jason's head
Yes,
explode with a microwave. That's what I read. Yeah.
you're right. I did read that too. Yeah, but I think that, yeah, the finality of that would have been, I think that's why they changed it.
But as a director, you're getting pissed off. You're like everyone's coming in here and shit, the people throwing the money into it want to have control over it.
Yeah.
And that I think is a big thing with being a director. And it's like it's my movie.
Yeah.
And when people are producers, executive producers, too many cooks in a creative movie can ruin a movie. And this was supposed to be the last movie, and it's not anymore.
No, no.
And the name of the movie is the final chapter, which just is it's just like so perfect for Friday the 13th, the franchise. It's like it was not the final chapter. It was not even the final five chapters. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and then, Nightmare on Elm Street did that also with Freddy's Dead. And then Halloween has finally done it with Halloween Ends.
It's a bait way to get people in the theater and be like, this is it. This is it.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the movie overall, I think is one of the better Friday the 13th movies. Definitely check it out. And it's a good one to start here if you want to watch the Tommy Jarvis trilogy of part 4, 5, and 6. So check them out. Check them out. How do you like this one, though, compared to the other ones? Is this one of your higher up ones?
This is definitely one of the higher up ones. I think this is one, and then this one was two
Whoa.
to me. I mean, yeah. Of the start of the films, but
Yeah.
I will say this: I really do wish I watched six before this one.
4?
I mean, this one before six.
Oh,
That's what I meant
oh,
to say because I didn't remember all the stuff about the masks and the die. So I was like, oh, it all came back to me when I was watching this, and I probably would have enjoyed six more if I knew that.
You mean 5,
But
but yeah, because we just did 5
yeah,
together. Yeah.
sorry.
6 is good though too. Tommy's in 6 as well. But anyways, yeah, let's spin that old wheel.
Yes, do it. Spin. Oh, oh, oh. Godzilla, 1999.